guys, we're going to do another portion of our Wonders of Water journey. We're going to earn the Save Water badge. For this, we're going to do a craft, a game, and a science experiment. But first, I'm going to read a part of a story in our Wonders of Water book. The three girls stared into the bowl of creek water and recited their rhyme. In a flash, Brownie elf appeared. She had a dragonfly in one hand and a small green lizard in the other. "Hello again," she called. "I've missed you." "We've missed you too," the girls said. "I hope your arms are strong, because the best way to see a wetland is by kayak," Brownie elf said. "That means you need to paddle." We can," the girls said. "Then grab a life jacket and hop in." The girls looked at one another quickly and then slipped into the kayak. The paddles were light in their hands. Brownie elf steered the kayak through a narrow passageway of dark blue water. But it was hardly quiet. The dragonfly buzzed about their heads, birds chirped, and bullfrogs bellowed, and ducks quacked. The lizard darted about in the bottom of the kayak. Around them, trees grew right down to the water, making it shady and cool. Gray moss, almost the color of Abuelo's beard, hung from the tree branches. "This looks like a place out of dinosaur times," Jamila said softly. "Wetlands have been around for a very long time," Brownie elf said. 100 years ago, some people thought they were useless and even dangerous. People could drown in them, and there were mosquitoes and alligators and snakes. But that was before we learned how important wetlands and wetland creatures are. "Why are they important?" Alejandra asked. "I think I know one reason," Campbell said. "Look at all the animals and plants here. Wetlands must be a good home for them." "You're right," Brownie elf agreed. "Wetlands are home for lots of plants and animals, more than any other place on Earth. But the sad thing is that half of them are being harmed by changes in the environment. That means they might even become extinct." So I'm going to be showing you how to make a paper plate turtle. What you need is a paper plate. I've already colored the back of it green. I've painted it, but you can also use markers or crayons or whatever you'd like. This happens to be green. I have paper and a marker to make shapes for its body parts. And then I also have a scissors and tape. You don't have to necessarily use a paper plate. You can also find things like a pizza thing, just anything round you can use to make the shell. So first what you'll do is you'll get this painted and everything, and then you can draw out things to cut out. So I have the head up here, you can cut that out. And so if you ever see a turtle on the side of the road in Wisconsin, what you want to do is pick it up and move it across the road in the direction that it was going, so it doesn't try to recross the road again. And so we're going to keep cutting out the rest of the turtle. And so then you can get all of its other body parts over here, and you'll just want to tape them to the underside of the plate, so that's like the face of the plate. And then, yeah. Also, sea turtles in the ocean, they do not like to be touched because they actually have an algae on them that keeps them safe. It's like a little bacteria that helps them stay healthy. And that's also one thing, you don't want to touch them. And also, it's not appealing really for everybody else to be touching. It's kind of gross, honestly. But you just don't want to touch them because they want to leave them be. And they actually lay their eggs in the same place every year. So if you ever see sea turtle eggs in a place, make sure that place stays reserved for them because they'll come back every year in the same spot to lay their eggs actually there. And then as soon as you have everything taped on, you can flip it over and you'll have like a little turtle shape on there. And then what you can do with a Sharpie, with a marker, with whatever you'd like, you can draw more designs on the turtle's shell, and you can also make a face on the turtle. So a little face on the turtle, and you also draw a little design on the shell. And then you can have your little turtle. Here's a quick game you can play. You can do charades with animals that live in your lakes and rivers. We're gonna pick out an animal right here, and you're gonna try to guess what we are. Can you guess what we are? We're gonna do a pretend cleanup at a lake. So this tub right here is going to represent our lake with water in it. We're gonna have these tools to be able to clean up the stuff that we're gonna put in the lake. And so these are gonna represent items that end up in our lakes. So like this would represent like some big pieces of plastic. This would represent really small pieces of plastic right here. This would represent like big objects that we've seen in lakes and rivers, and so this would like be like just really big object, like a refrigerator or a car even. These right here would be like soda cans. These could be pieces of glass. These represent balloons. And then this could be like diapers we've even found on the beach on the cleanups. And these could be food wrappers. And these could be like plastic forks and knives that people haven't cleaned up. And so now these are all the things that we've actually seen on a beach cleanup. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use these things to try to clean them out as the best we can. And even when we've been at the beach cleanups, I've done a few. And so we've actually seen that, we've learned actually that animals can eat these types of things. And so when they eat them, they think it's food. And when it ends up thinking that it's food, so they don't end up eating after that, so they actually end up starving, which is not good for them. And even at that, the plastics that end up in here, they don't go away because they're not meant to degrade. So what happens is that they end up staying in our lakes and rivers. And so as you can see, this is actually very hard to clean out. It's what shows that once these objects get put into the lakes, they won't come out easily. I encourage you to try to get the water that you've made as clean as possible with the stuff that you've put in. This short activity is an example of water filtration. And water filtration is used to get the yucky stuff out of your water so you can drink it. So you'll need a coffee filter, some pepper, 2 vase-like containers, and some water. So what you're gonna do is you'll take your pepper and you'll put it in the one vase. And then you'll fill that vase up with some water. Then what you do is you'll take your coffee filter and put it into this vase. What you want to do though is you want to take like a hairband type thing and secure it around the coffee filter on the vase. Like this. You want to make sure there's like a little divot hole in it so the water can soak through. Then what you do is you'll take the peppered water and you'll pour it into here. Make sure you don't go too fast because it takes a little bit for the water to soak through it. And then you can see that the water down here comes out clean in comparison to the water that's in here. So now that we've finished dumping our water into our other vase, we can see that the water isn't completely clear like it used to be, like right in here. And that shows that what we put in our water is never completely filtered out of it. And you can actually see on top of here that we still have the pepper from in this vase, but it's still kind of murky in here. So our water is never completely cleaned out, but it will. Now you're almost done with your journey. You have one more question to answer. How are you going to keep your waterways clean to protect animals? Write that down on a piece of paper and share it with your troop. Congratulations, now you finished your Save Water badge of your Wonders of Water journey.